Guys, welcome back to my channel, and this is chapter 72 Comes to Life to First Love. I have had some tense dinners in my life, but that night at the lodge was on an entirely different level. As we sat there in the candlelight dining room, I couldn't help but stare at the gun, sitting ominously on the table like the centerpiece from hell. Fox scraped plates as we all sat around, stewing in our various emotions. For Jennings, that was self satisfaction, non mason rage. Dad, Mac, and Ava were clearly confused, and Mrs. Jennings was doing her absolute best to blend into her chair, which left me with the awkward job of trying to diffuse the tension. So, anybody else getting family game night flashbacks? The candles were a great idea. Some mean, huh? I glanced down at my barely touched plate. You prepared a lovely menu, Mrs. Jennings. Thank you. It was really all chefware. She has this delicate process that's so unforgiving. And with the duck, you really only get one shot before the meat's tuned. Next to me, Nod dropped his fork, sending it chattering against the wooden table. I'm sure your husband knows as well as anybody that one shot is really all it takes. Clearly, we have missed something. Yeah, what gives? Naw pointed a shaking finger at Jennings, who stared at Naw impassively as he chewed his duck. Why don't you ask him, considering he's the one who shot me? Across the table, Ava froze mid bite, and Dad's eyes went wide. Come again, Jim, what is he talking about? I'm not entirely sure, since I was aiming at a common thief who happened to be robbing my home at the time. To hear him tell it, I sound like a monster. If you are going to tell the story, you should really start at the beginning. A warning shot would have done the trick. You tried to kill me. Yes, let's all take a morality lesson from a sneaking lowlife who tried to rob me from the sin of having more than he did. You guys, if you felt so justified, then why does no one know it was you? Huh? Why did he hide the gun? Jennings slipped into a smirk and cut himself another bite of duck. Before he popped it in his mouth, he locked eyes with me. I didn't. I knew you were a tool, but I never pegged you for a liar. It's been here the whole time, hasn't it? That's why Mom didn't want us going in basement because you stashed it, and you were worried we had found it. I didn't hide that weapon, son. Liar. Mason, I think he's telling the truth. Well, if he didn't hide it, who did? I turned to head off the table to see Mrs. Jennings squirming in her seat. She did. What? I didn't mean any harm. We had finally moved away from that old house. And you know how people talk. He's a principal, for crying out loud. I was just trying to protect the family from a scandal. You two are hypocrites. You call no sneaky, and but look at this mess. My mother's hiding weapons to cover your tracks, and my father's secretly inviting my ex to stay over. This obsession you have with Ava is getting to be a bit sick. Watch your mouth. I invited her so you can see what a big mistake you are making. Bringing me to invite your little girlfriend at the last minute. Excuse me, his little girlfriend. She flip flops so much I can hardly keep track. Hey, a few seats down, my father slammed his hands down the table, and everyone, including Jennings, jumped at the sound. I had tread very carefully if I were you, Chip. I don't think you are prepared to take this in that direction. Calm down, Dave. My son is just as much at fault as your daughter. If he was even half the man he thinks he is, he wouldn't have entertained this little contest to being with, but Mason's just soft. Ouch. My eyes flicked to Mason. His jaw clenched. His fist balled against the wood table. Pain and humiliation colored his expression. Stand up for him. You don't get to talk to him like that. He's your son. I climbed to my feet, but Mason held me back. Addie, don't bother. He is a master manipulator who magnifies everyone else's flaws, but can't see into his own his. He is not worth the air he breathes, let alone a dignified response. Mason pushed back from the table and stood to leave, but Mrs. Jennings rose to stop him. He jerked away from her touch, eyes burning with fury. Don't. He stormed out of the room, his mother hot on his heels. The room was silent for a moment, then, wow, if that's how you treat your own flesh and blood, you really are a monster. A father son bond is a very fickle thing, but you wouldn't know that, would you? How old were you when your dad left? Don't ever talk about my father. Why? Too painful a reminder that being a loser runs in your blood. You might as well embrace it, Mr. Harris, because the goody goody girlfriend, the college applications, they're not fooling anyone. You are nothing, have always been nothing, will always be nothing. Nod jumped to his feet, and immediately I stood in his way. He didn't move closer, but his eyes were locked on Jennings' smug face. No, can't you see he wants you to hit him? You are better than this. Everyone's already written me off as no good petty crook. If that's what he sees, then maybe I should show him what one really looks like. But that's not what I see, and when you look in a mirror, I don't think that's what you see neither. Nor fumed. But bit by bit, I watched as the fire inside calmed from a raging inferno to a controlled bonfire. He locked eyes with Jennings, eyes raging. Mason and Adi are right. You're not even worth it. He charged through the doorway, knocking over his chair in the process. Jennings shrugged. Another one bites the dust. Jim, that's enough. We may have lost touch, but I have always thought you as a tough but fair. Tonight you have gone too far. You had know all about that. Didn't you tell your own kids they could rot in jail? Dad's eye flashed over to us, ashamed. I'll be the first to admit, I haven't been the world's greatest dad. I have done things that are gonna take us long time to grow from. And I have repeated mistakes with my kids that I swore I had never do. But maybe having to live with the mistakes that made me the last person who should be giving advice is exactly what makes me qualified to. Mason isn't perfect by any means, but he's still one hell of a kid. And if you weren't so hell bent on making a mini you had be able to see that. What do you know about my son? I know he is head over heels about my daughter. That's good enough for me, and it should be enough for you too. Instead, you dragged poor Ava here under false pretenses, like she's property that belongs to your son. As long as Mason ends up suitably matched, I have done my job. Ava stood up from her chair, and the sound of the legs scraping against the floor drew all her eyes to her. Then you'll need to find another match, because at least until a few years ago, I was in another relationship with a girl, because I'm a gay as hell and proud of it. Yeah, not that it's any of your business. What type of role model are you? You are a principal. You shouldn't be playing a matchmaker with any of your students. It's disgusting. The words were out of my mouth before I was finally registered, until a few hours ago. Across the table, she met my eye, and my stomach did flips at the possibilities. But I fought the urge to run into her arms. Just because she was a free agent didn't mean she had want anything to do with the three ring circus that was my love life. Now, if you'll excuse me, I should get back to my 21st century before I'm married off for your political game. I was stormed towards the door. There, she paused, turning to face me and Mac. I'm gonna find those other two knuckleheads to see if we can blow off some steam. Are you two in? As I looked at her, heart swelling with pride at her courage, she held a hand out to me. We're right behind you. We'll wait for you here. As much as I wish we could, I can't leave my family behind right now. That's fine, but after this mess, I need to take five. She turned and slipped away, leaving me behind us with nothing but my family, the smell of her perfume, and a smug Principal Jennings. Is this the thanks I get for being so hospitable? Backtalk and disrespect in my own house. You brought this on yourself. With a wave on his arm, Dad gestured at the empty seats and abundant food. Behind him, Noah and Mason had returned to the dining room. They lingered in the doorway together, watching it all unfold. You ran your wife and son off, emotionally manipulated a decent young man, insulted my daughter. These children have gone through tremendous hardships and are still incredible people in spite of us. But if you're not careful, your son will go on to be an incredible person without you. The words hung in the air, and Mason and Noah glanced at each other with understanding. In that moment, I was so proud of my dad. My mom shone right through him, radiant and kind, but Principal Jennings hadn't finished. I think you have all forgotten the role of a parent is not to be liked. In fact, it it's clear to me the Jennings have wildly outgrown the Price family. I think it's time to end this sham of relationship once and for all. Dad tossed his cloth napkin on the table and climbed to his feet. He glanced behind him and saw Mason and all listening. If that's the way you want it, we'll head out at first light. And Mason, you're more than welcome to join us. Thanks, Dr. Price. I think I will. It seemed the conversation was over, but then Naw paused, jaw clenched, before he spit out. I can't stand you parading around on your high horse. Before we go, maybe everyone should know about our little deal. For the first time all night, Principal Jennings lost his smug smile. Sweat broke out across his forehead, and we wheezed as he wrestled to loosen his tie. You wouldn't dare, Ung. Principal Jennings stopped short, then doubled over and clawed his chest. Dad. His eyes rolled into the back of his head, and he careened right into the dining room table, whacking his temple on the hardwood surface. I don't believe it. The bastard's having a heart attack. Call 911. Wow. And this was all it for 72 chapter. I hope you enjoyed it and you will stay with me for chapter 73 as well. Thank you. Bye bye.